Hi guys, happy 2018. Welcome to my channel. It is January the 10th at time of recording, so I'm wishing everybody success and the like within the new year, and I hope that you've already kind of put in some plans for the year or for January or whatever. So towards the end of last year, around about December time, I was kind of I guess overcome with this like need to kind of really revamp my language repertoire, if you will, and just generally how I understand languages. I've always been intrigued by languages, um, and I've always liked the idea of being a polyglot and of being cool and speaking a whole slew of languages. Um, and that was about when I was like 16. So almost 10 years down the track, we're not really there yet, but we definitely have made some progress in the language department. So I feel that perhaps 2018 is the time to really kind of kickstart that back again. And what better way than to make some goals in the early beginning of January for firstly the end of the month and then all the way into 2018. Okay, so the format that I will be following for this year, or at least at the time of making this video, will be the one that was done by Lindsay Does Languages. I think she kind of wrote a format for 2017, so I'm taking it this year as like my little running sheet or my inspiration to kind of get back into learning languages. So just before we do start though, I'll very quickly talk about the languages that I'm going to be doing. I'm targeting Indonesian and Arabic for the whole of this year. Both of these languages are languages that I've studied before. I studied Indonesian in high school and I studied Arabic, Modern Standard, in university. Firstly, my basic language goal is, so I'm going to answer the question for both Arabic as well as Indonesian, and I've got some notes here, so if you hear paper shuffling or I'm looking down, just cut me some slack here. Cool. So for Arabic, it's to increase the vocab that I have for Modern Standard and begin speaking with people. For Indonesian, become more fluent in spoken Indonesian. What do I already know? Basic reading, so if you're aware, Arabic has another writing system, so I'm pretty okay with all of that. I know the letters and I am pretty alright at working out how they sound without the little markings. What I already know for Indonesian, basic grammar, I can hold short conversations. Listening comprehension, I'm a bit weak on because it's just sometimes hard. If I miss one or two words, I really can't make the sentences out. And likewise, I'm even worse with reading. How far will I go? I would like to return to the level that I had during the middle of my university studies, especially in second year. I did a country program exchange at the end of my first year, so that is probably the time that I felt most comfortable speaking, understanding Arabic. Regarding Indonesian, I would like to essentially, what I wrote here was move from what I consider to be beginner to early intermediate to what did I say? To intermediate, fully intermediate, or early advanced. So I would like to kind of have grown-up person conversations with people, essentially. How will I measure my progress? I'm placing a rule on both Indonesian and Arabic, is one book, one audio source. What I found was this book called Arabic Stories for Language Learners. What it is it has traditional Middle Eastern tales in Arabic and English, or حكايات تقليدية باللغة العربية والإنجليزية. So you have them both there, and it's really sweet. Like you've got the Arabic on one page and the English on the other page. And so this is something that and there's also a CD, which is not so relevant because like I don't have a CD player on my MacBook, but it is because it's got all the audio there. This is something I've been looking for a long, long time. I've struggled to find Arabic texts that are both at my level as well as enjoyable. I've read a few of the stories, or two of the stories rather. What I'm doing with them right now is I'm kind of just like picking out all the vocab that I don't know from the stories, and obviously trying to understand the stories. Perhaps in the future I might make a vocab list, so essentially table all the vocab that I've written into a list and make some cards out of it or something. And also, like if anyone watches this video and you're excited, I might read the stories out later as a little kind of measure to see where I'm up to. How will I measure my progress with Indonesian? So the real goal, at least the way I see it, is increased vocab, because I feel confident in speaking and in reading and in all that, but like I just don't have all the tools necessary to do it. For Indonesian, I don't have any books or audio just yet. I'm giving myself till the end of January to finalize this. I would love your recommendations when it comes to books. And same with audio. I haven't found anything yet. SBS, which is a local news provider here in Australia, does do a radio stream in Indonesian, so I think I will check that out. Worst comes to worst. What will I use to learn? So what materials will you learn? Arabic storybooks for learners. I do have a textbook, the PDF copy of, I think, the first book from Al Arabiya Bayna Yadayk, which is a pretty sweet MSA textbook. There's a kind of more religious poem called Tahfat al-Atfal. For Indonesian, I really want to try out the gold list method. I don't even know if it's like very popular anymore. I don't know where it stands within the language learning community, but I remember reading about it a while back. It's essentially like you write on a regular basis all these words. You don't memorize them, but you come back 2 weeks later and you kind of see what you remember from it and what you don't, and you keep cutting them down. So the idea is to try to put all these words straight into your long-term memory. Lastly, when will my language learning fit into the rest of my life? So that is my challenge for these two languages, is to find out when I have the time to firstly meet up with people to practice my languages, as well as to kind of just spend time writing lists and writing and doing activities and stuff like that. Okay, so that's probably been a long video, and I do apologize. But let me know. Give me some comments, give me some feedback, tell me what you are doing language goal-wise and how you're doing it. I would really like to know, and I want to kind of form some, I guess, colleagues or friends in this journey of language learning. That'd be amazing. I've already taken some inspiration from other YouTubers who have also posted on this topic, and yeah, that's kind of where this inspiration for this video came from. So let me know how you're going with that kind of stuff, and if you have any questions about Indonesian, Malaysian, MSA, or other dialects, and I might be able to point you in the right direction. Thanks very much. See you later.